everybody, happy November 2022. Thanks to the Lawrenceburg Public Library and the Friends of the Library for sponsoring the Year of Stones and Crystals. And most importantly, thanks to you for expressing interest in coming to the library and checking out your kits and registering, certainly, of course, too. So for the month of November, we are going to do Citrine, which is one of my absolute favorites. And I am Carissa Bunton with 7th Street Gifts. We're a little small brick and mortar apothecary shop in Newport, and we're open 7 days a week, all the way through the holiday season. So if you come up to Cincinnati or the aquarium or anything like that, swing by 7th Street and check us out. So back to Citrine. It's one of the shop's ultimate favorites, and you'll see in your handout, it's one that I started my very first day of business 23 years ago in my cash register as an amulet or talisman for prosperity and good fortune. And that same citrine is still in there today, even though I've changed cash registers twice in between the length of our business time. So the name citrine itself comes from the Latin word citrina, which meant yellow, or no, actually that meant fruit, and then it translated with location and geography to the French word that meant lemon. So let me correct that. So the Latin word is for yellow, and then the French word is for the color that lemons are. So basically we knew that lemons were a citrus and they were that vibrant, beautiful sunshine yellow. So the names kind of translated depending on what corner of the world you were in. So citrine to citron to the citrine or citrine that we know today. And obviously based off of its name, because of citrus and yellow that we just spoke about, the colors when they occur naturally in the world are gold, yellow, and even brownish hues. And by brown I mean like those autumn browns and goldish hue browns. It is the November birthstone, so a shout out to all the Scorpio and Sagittarius queens and kings. I have 2 of them in my house myself, so they're hold near and dear to my heart. So besides being the November birthstone, here's where we get to the 7th Street Gifts connection that I was talking about. Its most popular nickname or attribute is known as the merchant stone. It's generally known as a catalyst for any sort of prosperity or manifestation, but specifically that of a merchant or a retailer. So you would leave them in your cash box or your register or your pocket if you were like a market vendor, and they were said to be an amulet to bring and attract prosperity and ultimately sales or money. The other attribute of citrine, and it's pretty powerful and they're really interchangeable, it's an anti-nightmare amulet and a really potent one. So this is not a stone or crystal meant to like manifest good dreams or positive dreams. This is meant to like stop or thwart somebody who is prone to or suffers from night terrors and nightmares, like the really bad dreams, the ones that we don't want. So that is its other attribute. So right now we've got our citrine from Latin and French, which means yellow lemon, the November birthstone, the merchant stone, and it is a powerful amulet to stop or protect against nightmares and night terrors. In the Art Deco period, which is one of my favorite periods of like architecture and art, this stone had a huge boom of popularity, like giant. It became scarce and super overpriced and very, very difficult to get your hands on, especially in cut and faceted in jewelry. And it was likely sparked by the famous actress that also was there during that same time or existed in the same piece of history, because she absolutely loved the stone of citrine and she would wear it often, if not always. And if you go back and look at any old Greta Garbo like movies and films, she almost always is wearing some form of citrine jewelry. And so it kind of sparked the popularity. And then it's in your handout, and I should have written it up here, but I didn't. But another thing about citrine that's incredibly important to note to its attributes is it's associated with the solar plexus in the chakra, the rainbow within. And so it is known as the sunshine stone or the solar plexus stone as well. And again, that associates back to its beautiful gold, yellow, citrus, lemony colors, and even its like brownish golden hues. So since we try to offer suggestions about how to use or incorporate your stone or crystal into just like an everyday life or a regular old house like mine, These are the ways that I would suggest to use or incorporate it. So you could put it inside of a cash register like we do at the shop. You could keep it in your wallet or in your little change purse, money tills, things of that nature. Under beds or under pillows, and little children who are really going through it, like lots of times when there's that in-between stage from childhood and you're not quite starting puberty yet, for some reason that triggers a lot of night terrors and night dreams, especially in little boys. I've read a lot about it. It's a very common thing. And kind of the placebo effect of having something to look at that's really pretty and feels good and has a weight to put under your bed or under your pillow or by your nightstand really seems to help. It definitely doesn't hurt, especially when you're trying to help a little kid not experience those bad dreams in the middle of the night. So certainly jewelry, what we talked about, and it's oftentimes cut and faceted into fine jewelry, not just semi-precious. And then again, window sills and nightstands and bedrooms. It's nice to be able to look over and see it too. And again, since it is the sunshine or the solar plexus stone and these beautiful vibrant yellows and golds, natural sunlight really complements it, like more so some of the other stones and crystals. It's like a symbiotic relationship. When you put your druzy, especially the raw ones that you guys have in your kits, not a tumbled or polished, into the sunlight, it just twinkles and sparkles, and it's just very complimentary. So the citrine that I just mentioned is a raw druzy, or a cluster, a citrine cluster. So they are often found tumbled, polished, or faceted, but yours it's in its natural state. So when they would find it mining, generally these mostly come from Brazil, the ones that we have. They would pull out big chunks of it from the raw rock, and you can also see what the raw rock looked like on the exterior. So you have to have a really good eye and know what you're looking for. And then you would crack them or pop them open, or they do, just like we would a geode that we'd find in our creeks and stuff. And then inside is the citrine druzy. And they all vary. This is like a darker brownish kind of autumnal one that we talked about. And let's open another one real quick just for fun. Because there's a really nice, here we go. There's a really nice variance in colors in citrine, which makes it really fun because you can have the same thing, but it can also be different. That one looks a lot like the picture Denise did. And another thing about citrine that you oftentimes don't know about, and again it is in your handout, and then I'm going to close our discussion for the day, is that amethyst is more abundant and less expensive than citrine, just naturally. And it's oftentimes heated or lab treated, and if you heat amethyst to a really, really high temperature, it turns like a burnt yellow or brown or gold. So a lot of times you'll see something that says lab treated citrine, and that's just the piece of amethyst that was exposed to a really, really high temperature, and it altered or changed its color. So although it's like labeled or sold as citrine, and amethyst is lovely, I love it myself, it's not a true citrine. So I just wanted you guys to realize that the citrine in your kits, your druzy clusters, are a true citrine and not a lab-treated amethyst to alter or change the color. You can oftentimes too find ametrine, which is amethyst and citrine pieces that are kind of combined. They kind of touch like a Siamese twin, because in certain instances they are naturally found together, and so the inward one would be the citrine that was exposed to like a higher temperature through Earth's atmosphere or the core environment or whatever, and you can find the two together. So it'll be like amethyst on the bottom and citrine on the top. But that would be called an ametrine, and that would be naturally occurring. So, in conclusion, 11 out of 12, we have 1 month to go. We did citrine for the month of November for the DIY Saturday, the Year of Stones and Crystals, sponsored by Lawrenceburg Public Library and presented by 7th Street Gifts. Next month for December, the finale, we're going to do turquoise, which has been very hard to find. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to slide a selenite wand in there for everybody for Christmas time too. And we'll talk about the use of selenite for stone and crystal collections. And then everybody can count on a pretty turquoise for December's birthstone. So enjoy Thanksgiving holiday and whatever it is that makes you happy this time of year. And we'll see you in December. Thanks.